Hello everyone, I am Dr. Dhruva Mondol and my channel name is Topics in Chemistry. Please subscribe my channel. I will discuss different topics of chemistry in this channel, so please subscribe my channel to get latest notification. Hello everyone, today our topic is Clausius-Clapeyron equation, its derivation and its importance in phase equilibria. So first consider, suppose this is a system, and in this system this is the liquid part, and suppose this is a liquid and that is in equilibrium with, suppose, its vapor. Okay, so this is the gas. Now we have to derive the change of pressure with respect to temperature, dp by dt, and we have to derive this the equation for the change of pressure with respect to temperature, and this equation is called Clausius-Clapeyron equation. So we have to derive the value of the formula of dp by dt. So first consider this system. As I told you that here this is the liquid and this is the gas, and these two phases are in equilibrium. Okay, so for example, if you can consider, suppose liquid water, that is equilibrium with vapor water, and so this is these two phases are in equilibrium. Now what I have to do, first consider this is at a constant pressure. You know that boiling, if you consider that at constant pressure liquid will have a boiling temperature. Now if you change the pressure, the boiling temperature of the liquid also changes. Okay, so first if you see here, this is the liquid and this is the vapor, and these two phases are in equilibrium. So you know that under that condition the change of Gibbs free energy, that is delta G, that is equal to 0. So if delta G is equal to 0, that means you can say that G of the gaseous phase minus G of the liquid phase, that is equal to 0. That is the value of delta G. So what I can say, that G of gas is equal to G of liquid. Okay, this is under a constant pressure. Now what I have to do, you have to change the pressure. Suppose you have changed the pressure very small amount. Okay, suppose the value is delta P. So if you change the pressure by delta P amount, so delta P is equal to change of pressure. So if delta P is change of pressure, then also the boiling point temperature of the liquid also changes. That means you can see the change of boiling point temperature, that is delta T, the change of temperature. So if you change the pressure, temperature of the boiling point of the liquid also changes. So now the Gibbs free energy of the gaseous phase and Gibbs free energy of the liquid phase, that also changes. So suppose the Gibbs free energy, change of Gibbs free energy for gaseous phase is delta G, and the change of Gibbs free energy for the liquid phase is delta G L. Okay, therefore you can now write the equation that G, that is the initial value, G of G plus delta G of G is equal to, you can write G of L plus delta G of L. So this is the initial value, this is the change after changing the pressure by delta P amount, and this is the initial value of liquid gives free energy, and this is delta G L, the change of the liquid gives free energy. Now so this is the after this is the equation after the equilibrium. That means again the phase, these two phases are equilibrium. So when these two phases are equilibrium, this is the modified equation. Delta G plus Gg plus delta Gg is equal to Gl plus delta Gl. So as you know that Gg is equal to Gl, so how you can write the delta G of G is equal to delta G of L. Okay, this is the final equation. So you can say that this equation is equation number 1. Now you know that dg is equal to v dp minus s dt. So if the changes is very small amount, in fact this means a small amount, then you can write dg is equal to v dp minus s dt. So if it is delta G, then I can write delta G is equal to v delta P minus S delta T. Okay. So now from equation 1, you will write that how you can write that V G delta P minus S G delta T is equal to V of the liquid Bl delta P minus S of the liquid delta T. Now you have to modify the equation, so you can write delta P Vg minus Bl is equal to delta T into Sg minus S of the liquid. So from that equation you can write that delta P divided by delta T is equal to S of G minus S of L divided by volume of the gas minus volume of the liquid. So entropy of the gas, entropy of the liquid, and volume of the gas minus volume of the liquid. So alternatively you can write that this is the delta S value, and you can write that this is the Vg liquid volume, molar volume, and liquid gaseous molar volume and liquid molar volume. Now you can write this equation like this, multiplying T above T delta S divided by T Vg minus Vl. Okay, so T delta S. So finally you can get that change of pressure divided by change of temperature. So delta P divided by delta T is equal to T delta S divided by T Vg minus Vl, and finally you know that the value of T delta S is equal to, you know that this is the latent heat of vaporization, and you can write that is equal to Q. So okay, as you know that Q is equal to delta S by T, because you know that delta S is equal to Q by T. So you can write that Q is equal to T into delta S, that is equal to Q divided by T Vg minus Vl. Now this Q is equal to nothing but latent heat of vaporization LV divided by T into Vg minus Vl. So that is the value of delta P by delta T. Okay, so this is called the Clapeyron equation. This is called the Clapeyron Clapeyron equation. Now this is the equation when the liquid and gas, these two phases are equilibrium. Similarly, you can say that when suppose a solid is in equilibrium with liquid, then you can say that the modified equation will be dp, modified equation will be delta p by delta t is equal to delta H. Here the solid is converted to liquid, that is called delta H fusion, divided by T V of the liquid minus V of the solid. This is the other equation. So here you can say, here I want to say that here the value is delta P. Now consider the value is very small, infinite is very small. So in that case, you can write the equation as like this: dp by dt is equal to delta H fusion by T VL minus Vs. Now suppose this is the second case where you can say that solid is equilibrium with liquid. Now consider the another case. Suppose solid is equilibrium with gas. Solid direct converted to gas. So that is called delta H sublimation. The heat required for conversion of solid to direct gas, it is called delta H sublimation. So in that case, the equation will be dp by dt is equal to delta H sublimation divided by T volume of the gas minus volume of the liquid. So this is the another equation. So you can say that this is the equation, you have got three equation. First, you have got this equation. You can say that this is the dp by dt is equal to lv by t vg minus vl. That is the Kepler equation, is the equation number 2. This is equation number 3. And this is equation number 4. So 2, 3 and 4, this is a 3 important equation, and this 3 equation called Kepler equation. So in short, you can say Kepler equation like this: dp by dt is equal to, you can say that is the delta H transition divided by T volume of the one substance, volume of one phase, volume of P2, suppose P2 phase, and volume of P1 phase. So this is the Kepler equation. Now you have to derive what is the Clausius-Kepler equation. This is the first Kepler equation. Next you have to derive the Clausius-Kepler equation. So first consider the simple case. Suppose the consider a liquid is in equilibrium. Suppose this is a liquid that is in equilibrium with the gaseous phase. So this is the liquid and this is the vapor, or liquid and this is the vapor. Now for that equilibrium, already you have derived the equation like this: dp by dt is equal to, for liquid vapor, you can say that this is the delta H, that is delta H vaporization divided by T molar volume of the gas minus volume of the liquid. This is the Kepler equation. Now you have to modify this equation. What is the modify? You can say that the volume of gas is much greater than volume of the liquid. So what I can say that Vg minus Vl, that is equal to, almost is equal to Vg, volume of the gas phase. So you can write dp by dt is equal to delta H vaporization divided by T into, you can write Vg. Now this is the volume of the gas, and you know that Pv is equal to nRT, that is the formula. So Pv is equal to, here the number of mole is equal to 1, N is equal to 1. So you can write Vg is equal to, RT by P. So you can write that is equal to delta H vaporization divided by T into V is equal to RT by P. So you can write RT divided by P. So after modifying the equation, you can get dP by dt is equal to P into delta H vaporization divided by R T square. Okay, so now we can get dP by P is equal to delta H vaporization by RT square into dt. Now if you integrate the equation, suppose the initial pressure is equal to P1 and final pressure is equal to P2, so you have to integrate the equation. So suppose the initial pressure is equal to P1 and final pressure is P2, and here again you have to integrate the equation. Initial temperature is T1 and final temperature is T2. So I can write ln P2 by P1 is equal to, you can write the delta H vaporization by R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. So this is the delta H vaporization, means latent heat of vaporization. You can also write as LV. Okay, so finally you can get the equation ln P2 by P1 is equal to LV latent heat of vaporization by R, that is equal to vaporization is equal to latent heat vaporization into T2 minus T1 by T1 T2. So this is the final equation, and this is called Clausius-Clapeyron equation. Okay, that means if you get the value of T1, if you get the value of T2, and similarly if you get the value of P1 and P2, you can get the value of delta H vaporization of any liquid. Now this is a very important equation, and from that equation you can evaluate the value of latent heat of vaporization. This is called Clausius-Clapeyron equation. Finally, my request to my students, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.